Hey guys, welcome to this video. My name is John Watson. I want to talk to you about the danger in paying a time-barred debt. So first of all, what is a time-barred debt? That is a debt that is beyond the statute of limitation. So statute of limitation is the time period to sue. And when you go beyond that time period, and it varies by state and even by type of account. So in Alabama, it can be 3 years, it can be 4 years, it can be 6 years. Other states can be different. But if your debt is beyond that time period, then the debt collector cannot sue you, or they should not sue you, I should say. If they do, you should sue them under the FDCPA, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, for suing you after the time period has expired. But let's say there's no lawsuit and you see them on your credit report, or they send you a letter, they call you on the phone, and maybe it's $8,000, and they say, look, I just I need you to help me out here. I know you want to take care of this debt, and I need to show my boss that I'm bringing in some money. I mean, could you pay me like $10 a month? I mean, just something, just a token amount. $10 isn't going to hurt you, right? There's no harm to it. Just do $10. You go, well, okay, I'll pay $10. What's the danger of that? Well, look, you can decide if you feel like you need to pay that. I'm always skeptical of paying debt collectors, whether they really have the right to collect the debt. But put all that aside, and I'm just going to talk about from a legal standpoint, what's the danger of making that $10 a month payment? Well, the danger is that depending on your state, depending on how a judge interprets your state law, it may be that restarts the statute of limitation. So let's say it's a 3-year statute of limitation, and this is 5 years after you stop paying, well beyond the statute of limitation, and you start paying them $10. That may be enough, either truthfully for the statute of limitations to restart, or the debt collector may take the view in their mind that it restarts, and then they sue you. So now they've got another 3 years to come after you. Okay. So now they can sue you for that. So remember when that debt collector said, there's no harm. I mean, look, it's not going to hardly cost you anything. Just pay us $10. It's no big deal. Well, it may be a very big deal, because you may now be sued for that because you made that $10 payment, and they may be able to sue you. Now, we talked in a recent video about why they lie about getting these payments. And again, it's the same reason to say, judge, the statute of limitation restarted. But this is not a lie now in terms of you making the payment. It's a lie to convince you to make the payment. So I just want you to know there is a danger in making even a small, token payment to a debt collector on a debt that is time barred, that is beyond the statute of limitation. Because again, you may have just restarted the statute of limitation, and then they feel confident that they can now sue you for this, and the whole leverage shifts, right? If they can't sue you, all they can do is call you and write you letters. Of course, you could send them a cease and desist letter, and we have a recent video where we talk about that, so that they can't communicate with you anymore. And if they still have time, they can credit report. And remember, credit reporting and the statute of limitations, those are two different things. Okay, so credit reporting is basically a time period of about 7 to 7.5 years. Well, your statute of limitation may be shorter, but they can still credit report. But they can't sue you if you're beyond statute of limitation. But you pay that $10, and now they can sue you. And if it really has restarted statute of limitation, then your whole leverage with that company has now been flipped, because now they can say, hey, we'll sue you, we'll get a judgment, we'll garnish your wages, we'll sell your house, we'll garnish your bank account. And that's a whole different ballgame than they can just call you, write you letters, and credit report. So be very, very careful. Make an informed decision before you pay. And you may even ask them, and particularly if the call's being recorded, say, if I make this payment, is there any chance that'll restart statute of limitation? And if they say no, and then they do, I take the position that they've lied about that. So I had a case years ago where mortgage company, which can be a debt collector under the FDCPA, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, said, hey, if you do this, we will not foreclose on you. And then they did foreclose. And we sued, and their argument was, well, it's kind of a legal thing. And, you can't hold us to that. Judge like, no, you lied. And that's a violation of the FDCPA. That's section or subsection E under the FDCPA. So anyway, I hope that this is helpful. Just be very, very careful. And look, if you ask that question, you say, hey, if I pay you this $10 a month, is there any chance that's going to restart statute of limitation? And the person you're talking to says, oh, I can't tell you that. That's a complicated legal question. I can't make you any promises about that. That's probably your answer, isn't it? So anyway, give that some thought. Let me know what you think in the comments as always, and I'll catch you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.